Starbucks Karen loses her mind at Starbucks and doesn't make sense, and people are just like, what is going on here?
It is not illegal to yell here. Excuse me, ma'am. You are held when you are visiting the city. Would you please ask your family to correct it? You have been fired and sued several times.
What?
What is she saying?
Nobody knows.
Like your family and visiting and
Nobody knows. And we have the video posted to our social media, and the employees at Starbucks are just laughing at her because they don't know why she's upset and they don't know what she's saying.
No. Yeah.
I will not leave your store. You have been asked very loudly about your family's contracts. You do not live off this salary. Goodbye, with the understanding I ask quietly that it is not illegal to look at your grown ass California that can't afford to pay whatever you
Goodbye.
She's a customer
My goodness.
Wow.
at a coffee place. Let's remember what's happening here. This is not in somebody's house and she's going nuts,
No.
which would be bad enough. She's in public.
Uh-huh. I
Wow.
don't.
And she's saying with your family and your contracts, and
You don't
they
live
don't
off
pay
the
the salary.
salary.
It's very odd.
I don't know. I don't know what upset her.
She think they're laundering money or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
It is not illegal to yell here. Excuse me, ma'am. You are held when you are visiting the city. Would you please ask your family to correct it? You have been fired and sued several times. I will not leave your store. You have been asked very loudly about your family's contracts. You do not live
She's been asked very
Family's
loudly.
contract?
Very weird.
off this salary. Goodbye, with the understanding I ask quietly that it is
I wonder before cell phones
Uh-huh.
if this stuff happened more and we just never filmed them.
Oh, I'm sure it happened.
Had to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
But
we just don't. We can't capture. We weren't able to capture it back then.
Because it seems like it happens all the time, but maybe it doesn't.
What would you, okay, let's imagine we don't have access to our phones and we go into the Starbucks and we witness this exact same scenario.
Uh-huh.
Nothing to capture it with. So then you just go home and tell your family and your friends.
You just tell everybody.
And
Yeah.
then you'd have to call the news or the newspaper to report it, but then there's no footage. So
Yeah.
It loses, yeah, it
it
loses
goes
its-
nowhere.
And you try to explain this without video? You're insane.
You're the
Yeah.
crazy one.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
saying some other family contracts and she's
Banging on the
slamming
counter.
Yeah, and then
Hey, and speaking of, we have just not only the cameras everywhere. Everybody has a camera on them that can pull it out for video at any given time. But everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people have the ring type doorbells that
Oh, yeah.
capture the video. There's cameras on all these businesses. You would think the murder rate,
Yes. Yes.
the rate of success about, solving it would be way higher now. And I'm not sure if it is.
I don't know. I would
don't know.
hope that it's better. I would hope.
I don't know. Unless people have just become more clever. I even forget there's cameras places. You know
And
what I'm saying?
you are the one who put them everywhere
Yeah.
in your
I know.
house.
and we've predicted that's going to be your downfall. Your camera system
Oh yeah, it's
will
gonna
be
capture
you
too much.
capturing a crime.
Just like Hernandez,
Aaron
right?
Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
going to be you.
We're not saying murder necessarily.
No,
Let's
but
not get crazy.
If it were that, I wouldn't be surprised.
I have an option that I know to delete the footage right away. You can't get it.
Oh,
But if you forget that it's there,
Yeah.
and then
Mobile.
you're in a heat of okay,
and the police are already there and like, don't touch anything. You're like, Jason's by whatever the thing to delete this. That's the first thought. Delete.
right? Not that you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison. Get the cameras.
No, but I don't know if the murder rate is really down or not. I was just reading on there was something on the news. Maybe it's because the lack of police officers that like they can pretty soon they're not even going to be able to respond to urgent crime. There'll be not enough officers to. They're getting so many calls about things lately, so, like in stores and public. A lot of public indecency or public
disruptions.
Yeah, a lot of public disruptions.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I also it baffles me that people still get away with or think that they can get away with crimes or whatever it is that you're doing, especially with the cameras everywhere. But now also people doing documentaries that will just get picked up, whether they're good or bad or whatever. That somebody's going to be looking into your actions.
Oh yeah, and then you have like the whole country
Yeah.
sometimes into like some crime, like unsolved crime. Then they've had so many like different crimes and murders solved because people, amateur sleuths
Exactly.
helping out.
Yeah, because making a murderer was a closed case, right?
Right.
And then somebody looked into it and
Said, wait a minute, what's
wasn't that
going on
how
here?
it went?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there have been other ones too. And then my husband and I just finished watching the Lori Vallow. Have you been following that one?
I'm familiar, but I don't. Yeah.
The past years, the Netflix, of course, is called Sins of Our Mother.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, this has been going on for years and years, where basically this woman thought that there were zombies, thinks because she's still alive, but thinking that there are zombies and that she is one of she and this guy named Chad Daybell are the ones who are in charge of eradicating the zombies. So they just killed people, just numerous people, including her own 2 children.
Oh, it's
And
terrible.
for I think a solid, definitely months and months, just didn't tell anybody where her kids were and got away with it.
Got
Just
away with it.
Didn't
Yeah.
produce the children.
Well, we had that Pazuzu Algorithm
Yes.
down in or over in Clemens
Mm-hmm.
that police went to his house many times.
Right.
With
But
disturbances and stuff.
He ended up getting caught.
He got
Yeah.
captured, but it was after
way after.
he had already murdered one person. And somebody said, I think they have bodies. And
Mm-hmm.
not that the police didn't do anything, because they have so many rules and regulations that they have to follow. They can't just,
And
they
we-
have to have
We don't want them we don't want
like anyone
police,
can say,
yeah.
oh, Jason has dead bodies in the yard. And they're like, we went there.
And then they're digging up your yard, you know?
Right.
Like,
Oh,
They
that's a great
say,
idea.
it's called cleared, basically. If one person was arrested associated to a murder, they did say lately it's been on the rise where they're clearing murders. But right now, the police or law enforcement clear about half of all homicides.
Gosh, you'd think it'd be more.
In the 1980s, it was 70%. How is that possible? We have all the detection systems
And
now.
DNA.
well, I mean, maybe it depends on what. Are you just looking up murders?
I am, because
Okay.
I think that's a big one. I mean,
Yeah.
police are really going to investigate more likely to in a murder than a shoplifting crime.
Well, I don't
So
know.
if that's the case, and somebody, well, I think they do. There's different protocol for murders. Do
Well, there's like a homicide unit.
yeah.
Yeah.
But how is it that we have all these cameras? We have 911 at the tip of our fingers.
Oh, yeah.
We have all these different ways, and yet we're clearing 20% less murders now than we were back in 19 whatever year I said.
I don't know.
That is surprising.
If it's true, I mean, that was
And
a
then
quick
what does
Google
clear,
search.
and
But
what
what
does
does
clear mean?
mean?
Like they could
It
make,
means
get away.
one suspect has been arrested for in relation to the murder.
No,
So it's not-
I got you, but it could also be like, they did it, and then they didn't have as much recourse. Say, no, I didn't do it because here's the camera, here's the DNA, here's like wrongfully convicted.
So
I don't
you think
know.
it is possible that there was 20% more people wrongfully convicted of murder back, and that would mean that
Maybe.
or more. They would say even more people.
Well, because
I
we
don't
do
know.
hear that people go to prison and spend their lives there that they absolutely were innocent.
That is true.
And then DNA cleared them years later. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely complicated. But if this is say face value and we're solving less now, that is it's very concerning.
But
I
I
found
do
a
know-
website that's kind of backing up some of what Jason's saying there. The clearance rate over the past 12 years, now it's the lowest it's been. It was like 64, 59, 58. Now it's 51%. Total unsolved homicide cases are the highest it's been since 2015. The only year it's been higher was 2020 during the pandemic.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Mm.
And a lot of times, though, most, I think, murders, there's an association.
Yeah, you should know the
Yeah.
person.
It's not
Yeah.
usually random, although random's there. It's usually it's a higher percentage of people that there's some kind of connection or something.
Then I wonder too, and I don't know because you hear about these shootings in Chicago and different things, and it's like every weekend there's like, and it's unfortunate. It's like an underserved community, and you're just like, we're just not even going to deal with it. Or if it's gang related,
Because their lives.
they're human beings. You know what I'm saying?
somebody's
And if that's the
children.
case, that's really sad.
Yeah.
They're not even going to put resources to even look into it.
I know sometimes on the show we veer off the original trajectory
Yes.
we were
Never.
on. This started as a conversation about a woman going crazy in Starbucks, and Jason brought up murder.
Murder clearance rates from the 80s. Sure.
Somehow, it made sense to all of us.
Yes. You can't get this anywhere. Or just anywhere. Just here.